another episode of NBA 2K14. In the last episode, the Lakers knocked off the Warriors in a tight one. Here at the Staples, and the Lakers managed the victory 123 to 121. So, Warriors will be back here on Thursday on April 4 again on April 3 against the Suns. So now we're going to at the MSG in Madison Square Garden for the two of the Atlantic Division rivals as Rajon Rondo and the Boston Celtics take on Carmelo Anthony in the New York Knicks. This is NBA 2K14. It's gonna be a good one here. This was the final matchup between those two teams, between those star players and the rivalry. And for this game, both teams after that the squad to J.R. Smith instead of Ian Shumpert. We're finding J.R. Smith here that's overrated to take Ed to the bench instead. And there's Andrea Bargnani, and they're taking Amari Stoudemire to replace. What is this meaning there? Maybe we're gonna check it here. Decrease the minutes as LB. Let's get LB here. Let's go up to 20 and replacement right there to 32 minutes. So we're heading to New York City in Madison Square Garden as to Carmelo Anthony in the New York Knicks host Rajon Rondo and the Boston Celtics, and both teams will use some green and white. And that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video here at the MSG at the Madison Square Garden. We're sending over to Kevin Harlan here in New York. We'll be right back. Enjoy.
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It's the Boston Celtics going up against the New York Knicks. And tip-off is just around the corner. We send you out to Kevin Harlan in New York City.
Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for Boston, the speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. And it's Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, a 7-footer with inside-outside offensive skills in the middle at center. What a tremendous talent, getting ready for his first NBA appearance. Then there's Green, and it's Bass in at the 4 spot. And for the Knicks, the guards, Ray Felton and J.R. Smith. And in the middle, the 2012 Defensive Player of the Year, 7'1" rebounder, shot blocker, and leader Tyson Chandler. Then it's Anthony, and it's Stoudemire in at the 4.
You know, the Celtics ruled the Atlantic starting with their title run in '08, but last year it finally came to an end, that ruling of the Atlantic. 5 straight years of winning their division is now behind them.
And so off the tip, it's New York. Bradley against Smith.
Right there!
Outside Anthony. Working on Green. Anthony kicks to Smith. From outside, off the mark. And back to the Celtics in the Atlantic. You knew it was going to be hard for them to keep winning the division with all the talent, Steve, that has come into it within the last couple of years.
Well, it was a great 5-year run for Boston in terms of winning the Atlantic. But, you know, with the up-and-coming teams in New York and Brooklyn, all of a sudden Boston is looking ahead, looking above them to the other teams in the division. And now it's time to make another push, another rebuilding job, and get back on top.
Now Olynyk, following the miss by J.R. Smith from deep, and the basket by Olynyk.
And they get the first bucket of the game there. And I think it's going to be a good one.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. I talked to him about plans he had coming into this game, and the one thing he told me was that he wanted to make sure it didn't come down to a wire, saying with guys like Melo and Amari, I don't want the ball in their hands with a chance to win it at the end. We need to get out ahead early and never let them back in it. We'll see if they're able to avoid a close finish, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks.
Jeff Green, drafted out of Georgetown by the Celtics back in 2007, actually never played a game for them. Was traded to Seattle in exchange for Ray Allen. But in 2011, Boston reacquired him in exchange for Kendrick Perkins. So it's come full circle for the young man, and I think he's starting to find his groove as an NBA player.
New York's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Shot's good by Anthony.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
And it's Rondo penetrating. And it's blocked by Stoudemire. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession.
15 seconds.
Olynyk sets a screen for Bass. Jacks up a 3. And Jeff Green the bucket on the assist by Bass. Green's got 5 points so far. And for Jeff Green in Seattle, then Oklahoma City playing alongside Kevin Durant. Green, Steve, ended up at the power forward position, and I thought he was thriving with Boston.
Yeah, I like that position for him, actually, because when you put him at the small forward, offensively, he's limited. You put him at the 4, now he can drive right around his man and use his speed and quickness. But defensively, he can guard pretty much anybody out there size-wise. But the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Stoudemire's got his first points of the game.
How about the passing there? Moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And here's Green outside, and it's good coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. 8 points for Jeff Green.
Well, the big thing with him is that corner three-point shot. That's his spot. He loves drifting to that area. And so defensively, you've got to keep an eye on him. But what that does is it limits the amount of help you can give when he's on the floor.
And you know what? He's like a tank when he's coming down the lane. Lay into him as hard as you can. You're not going to be able to knock him off balance. Well, for so long, the Knicks have been the punchline of the Eastern Conference the last decade. 40-man contracts and questionable trades really kept... from rising to the top in the East, but once again now they look like a powerhouse.
Bass's shot, good.
Well, I bet his teammates love playing with him. He's distributing the ball perfectly.
Well, he keeps everybody happy, and you know what? The assist numbers don't lie.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first. And Clark, you were right. The Knicks were a powerhouse last season. Steve, 37 wins against the rest of the conference. And they just would dominate other teams at times.
Well, they're a team that doesn't really want to run a lot or force tempo. They just kind of want to get you in the half court. They don't turn the ball over, and they bury you from long range. So they found their identity last year and really dominated in that Eastern Conference.
And here is Lee. After the three-pointer from Bargnani, here's Wallace. And again, Boston with the triple. No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get a hold of it.
What do you think, Steve?
Oh, yeah, 8 lead changes already. I mean, that's a big number this early in the game. So we're in for a treat tonight. This is a competitive matchup.
And J.R. Smith picks up the foul. That's his first foul. 58 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Knicks?
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And they're sharing the ball, too, which I love. They're piling up the assist. We're seeing great offensive movement.
Well, you know, last season, I think officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle.
So it's Boston now, following the score by New York. Here's Rondo. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner, very close to another. But it's just time to move on, and that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues. To clear out like this, give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over here.
Well, I just, you know what, Kevin? Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up. I mean, he threw it down with force.
A different look for New York. Carmelo Anthony's checked in for Bargnani. Mon Shumpert is coming for J.R. Smith. And it's Udrich in for Raymond Felton. Still next ball. There's 18 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. No coverage that time. And 11 points for Carmelo Anthony.
What a start to this game, and the offense is both dominating.
I'll tell you what, feels like a game on the playground. Forget about defense, just keep firing.
Here's Lee, rejected by Udrich. First quarter, both teams really filling it up. Boston on top, up by 1. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Boston.
It's a great drive to the bucket for them to this point, guys.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Gentlemen, for Jared Sullinger, drafted to the Celtics last season, it was a great opportunity to learn from one of the best big men ever to play the game in Kevin Garnett. Sullinger said, "You're learning every day, and as you're seeing what he's saying, the game slows down tremendously." Fortunately, Jared not the type to take criticism personally, saying, quote, "Because I had Zach Sullinger as a coach," he says, referring to his father James, who taught him the game. And guys, Garnett praised Sullinger. Incredible IQ for the game and no-nonsense demeanor. He's fit right in with the Celtics.
Nice stuff, Doris. Thank you.
You know, during last season, Melo said that he felt the team they had in place was talented enough to compete with anybody. I agree with him, and that might be the first time in his career that was the case. He had a team that he was that confident in.
Here's Rondo. After the made shot from Udrich, Lee goes in, and it's good coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo.
Now, they knew what the defense was doing, and they responded perfectly.
Outside jumper. Dishes to Carmelo. Rondo with the steal. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. And they double up Rondo. Lee passes to Rondo. Nice ball movement by Boston. Shot clock at 6. Lee shoots. And another basket for Boston. And for Anthony and the Knicks, they weathered their share of injuries but remain one of the top teams in the East in the regular season.
And for Anthony, Kevin, it's got to be nice to play in New York where he was born. He's helped bring this Knicks franchise back to prominence.
Now Lee After the missed three from Udrich. Wallace left side. And the dunk to finish it off. Beauty. A free run to the hoop and some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one up.
And when you got the space, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always do.
You know, last season, guys, the Knicks put up a bushel basket full of threes, and with the shooters they had, you could see why they shot as many threes as they did. They had excellent shooters from behind the arc, and it also served Carmelo Anthony well because it opened the floor for him.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Smith comes in for Shumpert. That's Felton in for Udrich. For three, Smith. And again, New York with the triple.
Back and forth we go. That basket gives us another lead change.
And there have been too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
Well, Clark, as you said about the Knicks last season, the offensive game plan was take some threes, take more threes, and then some more threes after that. Steve, I know you like that. They led the entire league in threes taken. In fact, they set the all-time record for threes made in a season.
Well, they were unbelievably proficient from long range. They had games where they took 40-plus threes, almost unheard of. But it's the way they play it. And when you can surround Carmelo Anthony with shooters like that, it makes it tough to guard.
Olynyk, he's guarded by Chandler. Outside, Green. It's good from the top of the key. Green's got 10 points.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Anthony backing him down. Tries it from 19, and there are the Knicks with another bucket.
He's a natural scorer. It's that simple. Supreme confidence offensively, can beat you from the three-point line. He can get you going to the hole, offensive putbacks, beautiful mid-range game as well.
And he's not a standstill shooter only. I mean, he's a terrific ball handler. He's able to create space, has deceptive strength. And you talk about degree of difficulty shots, he can make those in spades. I mean, he can stop on a dime and knock it down, and he's got the full arsenal offensively.
Here is Rondo after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. And Green gets it to go.
He's picking up right where he left off in the first quarter.
The Knicks have gotten nearly everything to fall for them here in the second quarter. They're a great 7 of 8 from the floor.
You know, last season, Doc Rivers said he was hoping for Rajon Rondo to be even more aggressive and assertive than usual. The Celtics are at their best when Rondo looks to score first and then distribute later.
Rondo is doubled. Here's pass. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
How about that fantastic finish in the... Aggressive move, too, Kevin.
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
Well, that's how you send it. Two hands and hammer it down.
Here's world peace following the bucket by the Celtics. And that one's good. 9 points for J.R. Smith. We're going back to Rondo last season. He did out there scoring about 2 points a game, Clark, so I think about 14 a game.
And you factor in 11. Assist a game as well, Kevin, so never a guy who's going to lead the league in scoring, but a nightly double-double machine, and on occasion, he'll throw that triple-double at you, too.
Here's Smith after the made shot from Olynyk. Martin, who's guarded by Bass, gets it to go. And the Knicks lead by 6.
You know, next time he has that much space, he can just go straight up with it and leave the fadeaway at home. Park that fadeaway, take the shot that's available.
Wow, he sure can make up for that lack of size and height because of his leaping ability.
Smith dishes to world peace. Back to Smith. Ring shot on the way. And again, it's New York.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Rondo kicks to Bradley. Rejected by Felton. Here's world peace. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
That'll do it for the first half. Knicks lead by 9. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint. It's Wednesday night at the 2K Sports Studio, and this is the halftime report. New York leading against Boston. It's been a scintillating open court attack. They hold a major advantage in fast break points. Everything's going right for Carmelo Anthony. He's all over the court against Boston. His shooting percentage off the charts right now. He's got the magic touch from the field, no question about it. And still in it, the Celtics hanging around. They haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. Jeff Green has been locked in so far. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. Thanks so much for joining me.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return, a view here of the landmark Statue of Liberty, illuminating this beautiful night.
What a great game for Anthony in this one. 15 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 3-pointers.
Yeah, when he's been able to get squared up and get a good look at the basket, it seems like everything's been going in.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
The huge trade that really overshadowed this year's draft. The block. Deal between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics sending out the veteran trio of Jason Terry, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, and in return receiving 3 future first-round picks for rights to swap picks in 2017. For the Celtics, a tough but realistic decision to begin the rebuild process. For the Nets, an all-in attempt to win a title. Guys, it sent shockwaves throughout the league, and we'll just have to wait to see how it all shakes out.
They've got probably the best team in franchise history. We'll see where they go next.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense. You know, you think of what a typical Eastern Conference team plays like, and you often think of the Celtics. I mean, they like to slow it up. They'll play hard D and take their fouls when they can. Still, the Celtics last year were just average when it came to playing the rest of the conference. Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Mark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And I like the way he snaps that drive off, guys, with the one-hand punch. Well, one of the things that makes him special is his tendency to become red hot in just a matter of seconds. And you never know when it's coming. You know, all it takes is a shot or two, and he's rolling.
And something else everybody loves about him is his ability to do the sensational and spectacular. His dunks simply defy description at times.
Smith, the pass to Carmelo, 13 feet away. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Well, back to the Celtics, even as you said, Clark, they do all the things most Eastern Conference teams do well. They just couldn't keep it together, Steve, to finish far above 500 in the East.
Well, losing Rondo was a huge part of it, as they had to adjust their entire offense midway through the season. And I think a lot of it, too, is the rest of the East has caught up to them, and time is finally catching up to them. How about that play? Great body control, still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
Lee up top, guarded by Shumpert. Rondo kicks to Sullinger. Green. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul.
Yeah, close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Brandon Bass is checked in for Green. And it's Avery Bradley in for Rajon Rondo.
And a blazing start to the second half. They've hit all 5 shots.
Well, Gerald Wallace is still a good player in this league, but not quite the defensive lockdown defender and difference maker that he once was. How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play. So we'll see Jared Sullinger go to the free throw line. And it's going to go on Iman Shumpert. And Wallace Clark, known as Crash for his aggressive play style. Always a high motor.
Yeah, he's always in the mix. Really aggressive, a guy who rebounds well for his size, will attack you in the open court off the dribble. An all-star and all-defense first team in 2010. Terrific athlete, gives you 100% when he takes the floor, but he's got to up his production this season.
Meta world peace, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. It's stolen by Bradley. To the inside. Jammed by Sullinger.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
A lot of high hopes for the Knicks in last year's playoffs.
How about that basketball,
Wasn't that
man?
beautiful?
Wow.
You know, sort of surprised. He goes for a slam that difficult while they're trailing.
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
Guys, look, I don't know what the score is. That's the play we're all going to remember from this game.
Puts it up from 7, and that's good from Bargnani on the assist by Shumpert. Bargnani's got his second basket of the night. Bradley kicks to Wallace. And the layup's good off the glass.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Tyson Chandler is checked in for the Knicks. Anthony comes in for Ben-Aruda. Feeds it to Carmelo. Shoots from 8. Rebound, Boston. Lee with the ball. It's Bradley on the wing. Kicks to Sullinger. Taken away by Anthony. On the wing, Shumpert. There's one for 3. That's good. Shumpert's got 6 points in the quarter.
It seems like they've given up far too many points from the three-point shot today. A lot of open looks out there.
I agree, Steve. The defensive rotations have been abysmal.
And that one's good.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
Alfeld. Back to Anthony. Olazama. Baseline drive. And there's another one for the Knicks.
Who shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Bass. Lee Bass was put in just the right spot. Bass has got 14.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Felton kicks to Shumpert. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. That shot wide open. Anthony's got 24. Now here's Bradley. He dishes it to Sullinger. And there's a whistle goes on Iman Shumpert. That'll be his second foul of the game. Right side Rondo. 1 second left. Stolen by World Peace. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's the Knicks, up by 11. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided... show. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for New York.
I thought we might see a little defensive adjustment at halftime, but the fast break continues to be effective.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Bargnani is checked in for Carmelo Anthony. Smith for three. There's the bucket. Good. Smith's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Knicks. Celtics trail by 14. He kicks to Bradley. That's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. And it's 6 points for Avery Bradley.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
Olynyk dishes to Rondo, and there's a whistle that goes on him on Shumpert. And that'll be his third foul so far for the Knicks. Anthony comes in for Shumpert. That's Felton in for Udrih. Here's Olynyk, and that is good.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
Man, it's not necessarily strategic, Hart. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. You got to play hard, guys.
Outside Anthony, the three, and that one's good. Anthony's got 27 points.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
And a missed opportunity right there. Definitely, I think he should have converted that one.
The drive by Rondo. Open shot, three. And there are the Celtics with another basket.
He is feeling it. A terrific percentage from the field.
Here's Smith. And fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move and a shoot two.
J.R. Smith, last season's sixth man of the year, averaging 18 points per game off the bench for the Knicks. What a fantastic season.
And for J.R. Smith, the New Jersey native, right at home, Clark playing for the Knicks.
And you knew he had the talent to be special. He just had to put it all together and had a big season. The first player since 90 to come off the bench and score 30 or more in 3 straight games. He's simply a bucket maker.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, the head coach for the Celtics, had some instruction for his guys during that break. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Here's Stoudemire, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. He's going to be on Brandon Bass.
Last year, Amari knew that he was going to be a different player, but he made sure to prepare for it the best he could as he tried to add more moves to his post game in order to remain an impact player in this league.
And back to Amari Stoudemire, it's amazing how great a scorer he was without really being a back-to-the-basket big man.
Oh, he was absolutely lethal when he was healthy. Facing you up, it was the last thing you wanted to see as a defender because he can make you look bad. But like a lot of players, when the athleticism starts to decline, the post game is where you use your footwork, skill, savvy, strength to get high percentage buckets, and he's got a good enough touch to be able to do that.
And they double up Rondo. Olynyk. It's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. And that's 10 points for Kelly Olynyk.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
It's stolen by Green. And pushing it up, here's Boston. And the basket by Olynyk. Olynyk's got 8 points in the quarter.
You know, the instant that steal was made, they were off and running the other way.
Ball pressure, then a run-out feed. That's perfection to me.
Shumpert guarded by Bradley. Here's Stoudemire. Right through the knee for the layup. And the Knicks lead by 11.
Well, his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play, even with the defender draped all over him.
Man, that was a real mark it up.
Wow, we're going to remember. That one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special. Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
New York calls timeout. J.R. Smith's checked in for the Knicks. The Knicks leading by 9. Oh, and here's the one-handed jam.
As well as anyone. Tremendous skill in the air.
But he stays with it. Here's Rondo. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up. Yeah, guys, and that's 10 of their last 12 points now coming off of the slip.
He gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
That's how you drive your point home.
Yeah, but he got a little lucky. Getting away with it. That could have very easily been called a technical foul.
And there's a minute 45 left in the fourth quarter. Olynyk the pass to Rondo. Doubled by Felton. Rondo kicks to Bradley. It's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. 9 points for Avery Bradley.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
The drive by Anthony gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's got them in front, and it sure seems like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Rondo dishes to Bass. Can't connect from short range.
Well, the defender was on him like glue, all up in his airspace. That's a very low percentage shot against that kind of defense.
Yeah, you're right. Best not to force it when you've got someone draped all over you like that. You got to move the ball on. And with that basket, you have to think this lead is safe.
Well, if not 100% safe, certainly 95%.
That's the kind of lead pass we've seen him make over and over again.
56 seconds left in the game. Anthony, the pass to Stoudemire. It's stolen by Green. And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot, and go to the free throw line.
And he continues to knock down shot after shot. A perfect shooting day for him so far.
Free throw drops for Green. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question about it. That would be all she wrote.
Pass to Chandler. Defended by Olynyk. Takes the turnaround J. Chandler, no good. Boston's gotten all but one of the three-pointers to go down in this game. They've gone 7.
Oh, down there. Man.
He has a highlight reel. To himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
And now we've got the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws in, so now it's a 7-point game.
Free throws go down and the lead goes up.
There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Bradley. Back to Runner. From deep. Nails it! And now they trail by just 4. New York calls timeout. They're up by 4. 15 seconds left to play in the final quarter. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yep, you got to extend the game here. Try to keep that clock from moving.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And you can wrap this one up. Great job to stay cool at the line and polish it off.
There's Green with the three. Buries it from outside.
Things are really tightening up now, guys. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Not sure where it was before, but better late than never.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here. That's the first. That gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 5-point game. Puts up a prayer. Off time. So it's New York picking up the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, so we are heading tomorrow night, heading to Phoenix, Arizona, and US Early Center as a good matchup features a Pacific rivalry as Jerron Green and the Phoenix Suns take on Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Another two of the most rivalries once again will be meet again each other. It's gonna be a good one here. Jerron Green's in the bench right here. I need to get Jerron Green comes in to replace it Jerron Green. Let's see Jerron Green in his lineup. Was 99 not yeah, it's small side. It's called small side. I will switch it to Markieff Morris. Gerald Green, what minutes? They're only 16. So gonna switch it. And switch to Marcin Gortat right here. Marcin Vortex. It's also Michael Beasley. Let's switch it. Did Michael Beasley and the lineup? Yeah, it's power forwards. Okay. So we are going to Phoenix, Arizona in US Early Center as Jerron Green and the Phoenix Suns take on Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. It's gonna be a good matchup here. And that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Knicks hold off to defeat the Celtics 113 to 108. This is Andre Kenshin saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow here at the US Early Center in Phoenix as the start of the April upload to approach the NBA playoffs are here as the Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors and Jerome Green and the Phoenix Suns. Once again, this is Andre Kenshin saying so long from Madison Square Garden in New York City. And time to say sign up and peace out. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for a reminder as Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Jerome Green and the Phoenix Suns. And it's time to say once again, sign up and peace out. Good night, and thanks for watching. Peace.